Susan Schanerman again. It's been a little while, I'm sorry to say, but here I am, I'm back. And when I started to think about what to talk about today, not that I'm a person who ever seems to be at a loss for words, but I didn't know where to begin. So many thoughts are running through my head, and I just couldn't seem to stop and pin any of them down. But I decided, I think since I'm posting these videos on my blog, I will talk about blogging to start with. I don't know how many of you have ever blogged or have a blog, whether it be for business or for personal reasons. If you don't know what a blog is, I mean, it's very simply like a diary or a log, where you write down whatever you want to write down, thoughts, ideas, stories. Of course, I wrote a blog post a while back about the movie Julie and Julia, and the girl Julie Powell, who decided that she was not quite satisfied with her life and had never really been one to complete things, which I can relate to. And so she set herself out a challenge, and the challenge was to go through Julia Child's cookbook of 500 and something recipes, and along with that, blog every day about her experience. Well, after a period of time, she started to get some people who found her and started reading her blog and loved it. And then the next thing that happened was someone picked her up from the New York Times and wrote an article about her. And then, as they say, the rest is history. She was approached by a book publisher. She got a book deal. She wrote a book. Then she was discovered by a Hollywood director, Nora Ephron. She made a movie of her experience with, along with Meryl Streep, who played Julia Child. It was sort of like a cut screen. Part of the story was Julie Powell in New York, and part of the story was Julia Child in Europe. But it was a great story, and it's a great testimonial to choosing an idea or something that you're excited or passionate about and writing about it on a regular basis. And whether you ever get discovered by the New York Times or by Hollywood or not, it's very rewarding. And especially when people find my blog by whatever means and comment, or I have a way to count how many people track to the blog and stay and read and leave and so on and so forth, and I know people are going there. So it's very rewarding to know that things that you have to say and you feel are important to you get out into the world. I've been writing for a very long time, probably 20 years or more, and to me there's nothing more frustrating than to have things that you've written about and have them be on your computer's hard drive or printed off and sitting on a shelf. It's very disheartening and very frustrating. And so now I'm blogging again. This is my third blog. I actually started back in 2006 with my first blog, and that one was to go hand in hand with the radio show that I had created that I called the Empower Hour. And I would interview primarily writers, but other business people who had their own personal experience or their own personal philosophy on empowerment. And so it's sort of coincidental and very interesting, in my opinion, that I have come upon an organization, a company that calls themselves the Empower Network, and their primary product is a blogging platform. And when I say blogging platform, what that means is it's the system, the software and so forth that's set up for you to publish your blog. There have been a number of them out there over the years. Some are easier to use, some are harder to use. I've used most of them. This one, and actually as of today, which is Friday the 18th of October, the new ENV2 which is the version 2 of the Empower Network blog, which they also are calling the Blog Beast for a variety of reasons. But it's two young fellows who came up with this idea, and they're extremely passionate about it, extremely passionate about giving the average person a vehicle by which not only can they say what's on their mind and share what's on their mind, but also a means of earning money. And so I will talk about that a little bit later in a later video. But the point of the matter is this, the first thing that they suggest to you is to take on a 90-day challenge. And that means to write a blog post and post it every day for 90 days in a row. And yesterday I completed my 66th day, and I do have to say that this is one of the things that I would have to admit at this stage in my life, one of the few things that I have done consistently for 66 days in a row. And that's quite rewarding. To accomplish something that you set out as a challenge is a rewarding and an empowering experience. So I'm going to stop now. It's 6.5 minutes, and I have an itch on my nose. And I will continue in the next video. Thanks for listening. I'll see you later. Ciao.